Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Spook. I'm your host Don, and today we're doing something different. It's a book review that I read over the last week or so. And this book is How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive by Craig DiLouie. If I pronounced your name wrong, Craig, I'm sorry. Anyway, we don't do book reviews the same way I do movie reviews. I just kind of talk about it. So this book was interesting. I was hooked essentially from the beginning, from when I started it. The majority of the book takes place from the perspective of the author or the director, Max Mori, who is a horror movie director, and he believes in horror. He thinks that horror is the greatest source of movies. And he thinks this because horror is so real and so visceral. And so he's determined to make the best horror movie he possibly can. Hi, sweetie. Daddy's. So he's determined to make the best horror movie that he possibly can. Something that's raw, visceral, and gets under your skin. Mostly because he made his third movie in a franchise called Jack the Knife, and he didn't like how the audience reacted because at this point, this book takes place in the 80s. Uh, at this point, tropes exist, and people find they're shifting toward that kind of Freddy Krueger's comedy aspect, and he hates it. And so, while he's kind of ruminating on this, he ends up finding the lost footage of a terrible horror movie accident where almost an entire crew dies on set. And this inspires him to make a horror movie that is so real. Then we get into the and survive part of it. So he finds the camera that horror scene was shot on and discovers that it's cursed. So if you are big enough, if you're using that camera and you record someone you care about, they will die horrifically. And so he has to fight with the desire to use the camera while at the same time the sanctity of life. That's pretty much it. It also has the second main character is a gal named Sally Priest. She's an actress. She's always the bad girl, and she wants to be the final girl. And so it's from their two perspectives. I really enjoyed this movie or this book. I think that anybody who's a fan of the horror movie genre would enjoy this book. It's very I want to say it's very meta, but it's a great commentary on just horror in general, and the kind of like the shift from Psycho and um, Black Christmas to like the modern slash or the more classic slashers of like Friday the 13th and stuff like that. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. But me being me, so there's a scene where he submits his perfect horror script. And he's like, this is the perfect horror movie. I am making this movie. And he gives it to his producer, and his producer reads it, and his producer's like, no. And he's like, why? And he's like, because this isn't going to put people in seats. You're subverting expectations too much. It's a great story, but no, absolutely not. It's not going to make us any money. Rewrite it. So he rewrites it, and it goes on this long diatribe about all of the just terrible to him, terrible things, all the tropes. He hits every single trope he can think of, product placement, everything he can possibly think of to make it the to make it what the producer thinks is a good movie. And then the piece de resistance, he was like, hopefully I'm gonna ask for like another 250 mil or another 250,000, and I'll tell him we should make it in 3D. And I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, I would love to see your movie, like the real movie you want us to make, but also me being me. I would love to see this movie that you just created off the top of your head because that's fantastic. But yeah, check it out. How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive. Craig DiLouie. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye.